Coming to you live from the Chamber of Hunters studio, this is Hunting You. I am your host, Leslie Reed.
And I'm Keoni Hutton. Welcome, everyone, back to the Hunting You podcast, and Happy New Year. We are so excited to be kicking off 2024 with you. And oh my gosh, have we got an exciting schedule. I don't know if planned is the right word. Planned might be too strong of a word.
I think with the way we are able to do things, envisioned is a much more effective and, let's face it, accurate phraseology.
Exactly. So we are kicking off a new year. The last few months have been absolutely freaking insane. I was at sea. Leslie and her husband were going through all kinds of job and medical drama, and only God knows what's happening with John right now. I think yesterday, tiny human things. Yesterday, he found out his daycare provider is not going to be providing daycare for the foreseeable future. So they're in a bit of a storm right now. So it's kind of an interesting time for us here at the Hunting You podcast. But
once again, life happens, and you guys get to hear about the broad overview of it, because let it never be said that we aren't, as transparent as possible.
Indeed. So we failed to get a December episode out because of all of that. But we are starting off the new year on a new foot, and I have just so many guests already lined up that we are super excited to talk with about what they are doing in the industry. And of course, it is getting into convention season, and the first convention's only a month and change away. So
you've been at sea. How have you had time to buy new feet? To start the year off with new feet. It's a really bad joke.
Thank you, Les, for that.
As you can tell, I'm a little out of practice.
Well, as has become our tradition here on the Hunting You podcast, we like to kick off the new year with our main sponsor, giving them an opportunity to come on and kind of talk about everything that is happening. So we are super excited to welcome Rob Nulton back to the Hunting You podcast today. And I see that he has just joined the Zoom call. So let's bring him in and we can get started.
Woohoo!
Aha!
I'm here.
Hey, Rob.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. It has been a while.
Yes, good to see you too. Yes, it has.
You have been a great partner to the Hunting You podcast for the last several years, and we have just had an absolute blast watching what the Chamber has been doing, participating in what the Chamber is doing, and it looks like 2024 is going to be even better.
Yes, it's going to be huge.
I want to start. So back in July at Texas Hunters, you announced a whole bunch of initiatives that the Chamber is working toward, and 2024 is when a lot of those are really going to start coming into fruition.
Right.
You also announced the reorganization of the board last year. I want to start first by talking about how has that reorganization worked out? Are you seeing the results you hoped for? Talk about it a little bit.
So we in 2023. We decided to reorganize the board, and we base it more off of, because we're a national chamber of commerce for the industry. We actually went and got information from the National Chamber of Commerce as far as how a board should really look as far as for our type of organization. Because once again, you have to remember in this industry, there's different types of organizations that are out there, both national or statewide or local. And so depending on the type of organization you are, that's going to dictate, the type of leadership that you're going to have in that organization. And because we, like I said, we solely act as a chamber of commerce, not just an organization or association. We are a chamber of commerce. So that means that we sort of need to be modeled as such. So we ended up getting our model after the National Chamber of Commerce in their kind of leadership. And that's what we decided to do with our leadership, was create that same kind of leadership structure so we could operate as a more true version of a Chamber of Commerce. And it has actually been a great undertaking, but it has gone very well. We have a wonderful board. Everybody that has served up until this point, and even serving now, that they've all been wonderful, and I'm grateful for all they've done. But like I said, our board now, we have a wonderful board in place, and they're all very excited and driven, which is really nice. And I think I mentioned this before. We in this organization, we consider each other family. That's the great thing about it is, we've all become pretty close in working together, and it's been nice to have that relationship with so many great people all around the country. And honestly, the things we're undertaking now, or the things we're working on, or where we've even gotten today, is because of all of them, because of our members. Without our members, without having you guys, everybody that has given something to us has helped us to get to this point where we are today. And I just feel, like I said, truly blessed and grateful that we've made it this far. I mean, especially, I hate to mention the pandemic, but
Put a
that
pause on
came at the
everything.
worst. Yeah, I was gonna say that came at the worst possible time for everyone. But it came at right after we started, and it was like, are we going to survive this? I mean, it'd been one thing if we'd started a year or two before, or but we were starting, and things were rocking and rolling, and then all of a sudden, bam, this comes up, and it's like, what do we do? And I think instead of spending time trying to gain member, I mean, we did gain membership that year, but instead of putting our resources towards that, we put it towards helping our current members to stay afloat and to get by and survive. And I think that endeared some people to our cause, letting them know that, hey, we are here to help them. We're not just, we don't want their money so much as we want them. I mean, yeah, it takes money to make the thing float, but like I said, nobody gets paid. This board is the non-paid board. And so everything we do, the monthly meetings we do, the initiatives that we work on, everything we do outside of here, the conventions we go to, it's on our dime. We're the ones giving our time, our money, our efforts to ensure that this organization, continues to survive and thrive and can be around to help not just our members solely, but the whole industry. Like I said, our goal is to help everybody, not just our members. Now, obviously, as you know, our members are first and foremost. They're the ones that pay the dues to be a part of this organization. So we will put them first. But as far as everybody else, we want to make sure they're taken care of as well. We're not here to say, well, if you're not a member, you can't, you can't participate or you can't be a part of this. That's not the case at all. So the nice thing is, like I said, we've created a structure within our organization that allows everybody, once again, member and non-member, to be a part of. So yeah, the reorganization, I mean, went really well. I just, like I said, we really thought it was needed just to make sure we could operate as a true chamber of commerce for the hunt attraction industry. And like I said, it's made a huge difference. I mean, like I said, we have a wonderful board who does a lot of great work. And like I said, without them, we wouldn't continue on today. So I'm grateful for their sacrifice and their willingness to do what they do. And then leading to your next question, I mean, from there, after we got the board straightened out and we got everything refigured out in 2023, we realized, we want to make sure that we're constantly, I don't want to say changing so much, but we're constantly building upon what we've done already. Because once again, we want to make sure when people are paying their annual dues that they feel like, okay, we're getting a bang for our buck. Now, granted, we are a new organization. We're going to be soon to be 4 years. So, I mean, it does take time, and we've been grateful for those who have been patient. But our hope is that by now they are seeing the value because, like I said, we are creating these organizations for them. We are providing these training opportunities for them. And anytime they need us, I mean, we're just a phone call away. I mean, any board member they can call, and they have our personal numbers, and they can just call and just say, hey, I need to talk to so-and-so. I have a question. We can then create, our partner them up with a mentor, and help them out. So, there's a lot of new changes. Like I said, just to go over it quickly, some of them, so I don't take the whole time, but like I said, we have our chamber foundation. That is used to help small hunt attractions, yard haunters, and home haunters, as well as charity haunters. We're trying to help people to stay in the industry, and those who want to get in to come on in, because once again, a lot of us who have been in it for years won't be here forever. At some point we're gonna we're gonna go, either retire or die. One of the two is gonna happen. I don't know which will happen first, but one of those two will happen. And when that time comes, we want to make sure that it's not like we go away and then everything just falls away. We want to make sure that people are continuing the work we've done. That doesn't have to mean our work, but continuing to be a part of the industry and making new haunted attractions. And I mean, there, you can never have too many haunted attractions. I don't care if there's 5 in the same area. I mean, I'd go to all 5. You can't have too much. So the Chamber Foundation helps with that, with mentoring, training. Like I said, everybody who's newer to the industry or who's smaller, so that way if they want to grow, we provide them the training and the resources to help them to grow if that is their desire.
Yeah, I want to dig
Within
into that
oh, go ahead.
foundation a little bit more. Because one
Yes.
of the things you announced at Texas Honors Convention last year was a grant program through the Chamber
Yes.
Foundation. Tell me about this grant program.
So the this grant program, it's a growing program. Next year we'll have, I believe, two grants. This one was a $500 grant. It's called the Robert Hershey Senior um, grant, and what it does is, so Robert Hershey Sr. was he actually retired from the industry. He owned Jason's Woods in Pennsylvania. His son Robert Jr. Has taken it over, and we become good friends. But his father was really big into helping me get my start. I mean, he had been around since the '80s, so I mean, I knew of him, but I didn't really get to know him until later, down the road. But it's funny because my family, the attraction that we had, I, whenever my cousins and their family all decided we were going to shut it down after 11, 12 years, um, they ended up buying a lot of our stuff. So it was just interesting how we came, sort of small world. We were about an hour and a half away from each other, but it was even a smaller world than that. And later on, I had started doing consulting and reviews just to stay in the industry until I could find a way to get back in, as far as an owner. I actually
Yeah,
have my own
yeah.
attraction. And, he was the one that sort of encouraged me and just, he, mentored me to sort of get back into it. And so the program is named after him because the impact he had on me. But that's what it does. It gives a $500 grant to anybody who once again wins the award. So what they do is they apply. Usually applications are received between, I think it's April and May, and then about June timeframe we vote on it. We have our Chamber Foundation members. There's a couple members that meet that are part of the board. They meet, discuss them, and then they tell us which one they feel, or if there's more than one, if they can't choose, then they bring that to the board. And as a board, we vote for the one we choose. Now, it's hard to choose because when you do an application, you're telling us how you would use the money, why you need the money, and stuff like that. And everybody has a good reason. I mean, it's hard to say, oh, this one has a better reason than this one.
Yeah,
That's hard
yeah.
to do, because they're all good reasons why, and they all need it. But at the end of the day, that's our job, is to pick one. And so we pick one, and then they get that $500 grant to help them, like I said, with supplies. Maybe they need to pay for insurance. Maybe they need to pay for upgrades, something that they didn't account for. Things, as you well know, things happen at the last minute, and we're scrambling to get stuff, and we're like, now I gotta spend money on this. Well, now you have it. If you kept it in savings, now you have it for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
So this grant is meant to help. Like I said, we are trying to grow our grants. We're hoping to have $1,000 grant in the future. Like I said, still not a ton of money, but $1,000 is $1,000.
Absolutely.
And I'm never going to sneer at that if I got it. So, you know, I, so like I said, that's what we're hoping to do, is be able to help people, financially as well, to get up and get moving. And, because it's not easy trying to start in this industry, or when you're small, it's not easy to stay in this industry. I mean, the sad part is, and I'm sure you've seen it at some point somewhere, but I know I've seen it where people, you get some attractions, especially the bigger ones, who may have been small at one point and got big, that forget where they came from.
Sure,
And
sure.
they tend to tear down other attractions. It's like, why? It's like, you're gonna get people. Like, why do you care if they go to the other place too? Like, who cares? Share. You know, Nobody's going to come to your attraction every single night you're open, unless you're only
Yes.
open 1 or 2 nights. Then maybe
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, exactly.
but if you're open 8 nights out of the year, or 13, I'm going to go once. I may go twice to show a friend. If I say, yeah, I really like this, I want to show you, I may go twice. But other
Mhm.
than that, I'm not going to go 3 or 4 times, because you can't change the experience enough to make it that unique every time in the same year, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm going to go
yeah.
find another one, you know?
And that's
So that's the
absolutely,
big thing that we worry about.
absolutely. And that's why like we try to push for Hans partnering with each other, because like, hey, you like the experience
Mhm.
with us, go check out my friend over
Right.
here. And like it's such a
Right.
great way to get the word out about your haunt. And
Oh yeah.
I could
That's
go
how
off
it
on a
should be.
tangent on that. It's
Yeah.
exactly how it should be, but that's not what we're here to talk about tonight.
No. That's another story.
So we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for announcements on that grant
Mhm.
program so that people can be applying
Yes.
for the 2024.
Yes.
What else is the foundation up to?
So the foundation within the foundation. So like I said, that's our big educational facilitator for the chamber, pretty much. And within the Chamber Foundation, we've created we've started it. It's called Scare University. So what it is it's a school that we're creating within the university to help once again not only owners but management, staff, actors, makeup artists, costume designers, you name it. We're trying to create an educational program that facilitates everybody. We want to make sure that everybody can be educated, no matter where you fit in the industry. Because once again, I think, and this is once again because I've seen this, I think when we talk about a ton of attractions, many of us look at it from an ownership standpoint. Like we're
Mhm,
not looking
mhm.
at all the stuff that goes on. I mean, we know what goes on behind the scenes, we know what we put into it. But when we talk about it, we don't always talk about the actors. We don't always talk about the costume designing, the people that make the props, the people who have to build it, people who do makeup. I mean, I'm not saying we don't ever hear about that, but it's just our mindset goes to, oh, I want to own one. But you have to remember, not everybody wants that. Some people want
Yeah.
to be a part of this industry, but they want to act. They just want to go to different haunt attractions and act. That's what they want to do. Or
Or they want to
they
do
just want to be
makeup.
makeup.
They want to
Yeah, that's
build.
it.
They want to do
That's
special
right. They want to
effects.
build. They don't
Yeah.
want to act. you know, they don't want to own it. They just want to be a part of it in a different arena.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure, along with my board, that we can facilitate people no matter where you feel you fit in best. So, like I said, we don't want people to feel left out because, oh, well, I don't want to own one. It's like, okay, so I don't have, it's like there's nothing for me. It's like, no, we are making sure that there is something for you. Doesn't matter what you want to do, even if it's just staff. We're trying to facilitate every little aspect, and it's going to be a big undertaking, but it'll be worth it because we'll be able to, like I said, help the whole industry, not just solely our members,
Mhm.
but the entire industry will benefit from a lot of these programs we're working on, including Scare University. But like I said, that's going to be worked on in 2024. We hope to have a couple courses and things laid out in 2024. It probably won't fully come to fruition until 2025, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
I mean, you'll have some of it in 24, but because of how big of an undertaking this part is, um, that one thing you will probably, like I said, be finished or will fully be rolled out by 2025. So you're probably talking the first or second quarter of 2025. We should
Mhm.
be rocking and rolling with that thing. So
How are
probably take us a
you
good, like I said, 9 months to a year to get it rolled out.
sure? How are you envisioning this working? Like online classes or in-person
It'll
classes
be a
or
mix.
uh-huh.
So we'll a lot of them will be online just because like with our ghost program, I'll just quickly put a snippet in with that because that sort of falls
Why
in
not?
the Chamber Foundation.
Sure.
So our ghost program is our health and safety program. There's I believe 15 courses that you take. We were doing them live, but we started to realize trying to facilitate 10, 15, 20 people around the country in different time zones and then lock in an instructor was becoming very difficult. I mean, we
Mhm.
were able to do it and we did it successfully, but it was difficult. Once again, the one thing we were doing was rolling classes, meaning we teach one, then the other, and then keep going until we got to the 15th. So if you came in midway, you could start there, but then you had to wait until we ended the last course to then start over to get the rest that you needed. So you could jump in at any time, but you'd have to then come back to the beginning and wait. And it's just like it could take them a year to do it. And it's just like that doesn't seem reasonable, especially when they're trying to get other things done, like build their attraction and do everything else. It just didn't seem logical in my mind. So we talked about it as a board, and that's where we found an online program that helps us to facilitate online courses where they can go in. They're pre-recorded. You go in and you start it, provides you with a PowerPoint, provides you with a manual, and then upon passing the course, you then get an automatic certificate that says, so and so has completed, this course, and they get this credit for it. And then it comes straight to an email that we have for the chamber, where we'll store it, and then we can keep track of your courses in a different folder. So that way, for each person, we know who's completed how many courses. And then when you're done with all the courses, we can issue you your patch and your certificate saying you've been ghost trained, or as you told us, ghosted.
You've been
I
officially
gotta give
ghosted.
Keoni that credit. That's his credit. But yeah, so with the Scare University, it'll be very similar, where we will have online courses, but at the Texas Harness Convention, where we do hold our annual convention every year, we do plan on having some in-person courses, because we do feel those are vital too. It's important to be able to ask questions, because once again, questions are going to arise. And since we're allowing people to go in and do the courses on their own as they can to suit their schedule, they're going to have questions. Now, the one thing we are facilitating, just to make this understood, because I know the question will arise at some point. So if we do have questions, what do we do? Well, there's going to be contact information at the end of each course that says if you do have questions or comments, you can reach out to, once again, it'll provide an information on a board member, and they can call that board member and talk about those things. So there will be a live person that they can keep in contact with and ask questions. If they do end up having questions, either, once again, it can be after the course or down the road, but they will have a contact to be able to do that. So we're not technically fully leaving them without a way to ask questions, but we just feel it's better to give people the opportunity to do the learning on their own as they can.
Yeah.
To fit their schedule, versus trying to say, okay, well, I'm on Eastern, they're on Mountain, they're on Pacific, and trying to schedule them all for the same hour. And it's like, well, dang, it's just, and somebody always misses out, and I feel bad, because like you can only facilitate so many people. There's no way you're gonna everybody, especially when you're talking 10 to 20 people at the same time. So
Yep.
yes, to answer that question, yes, it will be a mixture of online and in-person courses that will be offered. We will do some online / in-person online courses as well, where there will be a live instructor, but a good portion of it will be pre-recorded. You can access it at your leisure. That way you're not totally at the behest of someone else's schedule. That way it's not like we're trying to get everybody to do it. So that's why we've facilitated that new system, just once again to help everybody. I just think it'll make it easier for both members and non-members alike to access any training that they need to.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic. And particularly focusing on the topics that we traditionally have not seen covered in this type of media. I think that I'm super excited to see how it ends up rolling out.
Yeah, it'll be huge. I'm excited for it.
So Scare University sounds like part of that Ghost program is kind of moving in underneath there. Yes. We talked about the grants. We talked about mentorship, all within the new Chamber Foundation.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
But you've got so much else that is going on within the Chamber as well, not just the foundation.
Yeah, we're not done. So that's well, like I said, I don't know for you guys, but yeah, we're not done. No, it's exciting. We have some new things that we've been looking. Like I said, we're looking at new ways to help, once again, our members and non-members alike, to get out there, to learn, to grow. And some of those ways are one with our Chamber Leadership Initiative, which is a way for, once again, members and non-members alike to get extra training more on the leadership side of things. Once again, how to be a leader in the industry. It's one thing to own a haunted attraction, and I'm going to put this lightly. It's easier to own a haunted attraction and be a behind the scenes person than it is to be out in front in the industry itself. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I own a haunted attraction. I can easily get by without the industry knowing me very well if I really wanted to. If I just go in the back and just like, I'm doing my attraction, that's it, I could easily go unnoticed for years. But to actually come out and be a part of the industry to help others, to be an asset and provide value for others who need your experience and knowledge, is a different story. And for many, that's a lot harder to do, because not all of us are outgoing, or not all of us like to talk in front of people. Some people just like, no, I'm not going to say a word. So
What? Those people
I know
exist?
what? Who does that, right?
I'm looking at
I
you,
don't know
Leslie.
anybody like that.
What? What? People who don't
She's like,
speak?
what?
People who don't like to get up and talk in
Right.
front of people.
I mean, I will if I have to.
Well, and that's the great thing about this program is it's I don't know if you've ever heard of this organization. I think it's still around today, but it's called Toastmasters. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar
Yeah,
with it.
this program is similar to that, not the same, but similar to that in that help. We're trying to help individuals looking to enhance any of their skills to help them be, once again, not just leaders within their, I mean, this will help them within their attraction as well, but to also help them within the industry. If they want to contribute and be a part of the industry, like I said, it's so easy in this day and age to go to, especially this, like I said, trans world's a good example. It's easy to go somewhere that big and get lost in translation, meaning,
Yeah.
you see everybody else having fun, you see people meeting up because they know each other, and but you watch from the outside versus trying to say, hey, I want to get to know you, hey, I'd like to be a part of this group. It's like they're willing to let you in. I've learned that people are willing to let you into their group. You got to make that effort. And so this is something that will help individuals to sort of come out of their shell a little bit and be the leaders that this industry needs to continue, because at some point, no matter what organization you're a part of, no matter what association you're a part of, chamber, whatever, at some point we all are going to, like I said, either retire or die. One of the two are going to happen eventually. And other people need to step into those places. And so this initiative is meant to do that, to help create future leaders. For once, it doesn't have to be for us. It can be, for their own attractions, for other organizations, local, state, or national, so they can be the leaders that this industry needs in 5, 10, 15 years. So
Yeah.
we're excited about that one. It'll be a really neat neat initiative that we're going to roll out. That'll be rolled out in 2024. So we're looking forward to that one. And then we do have a new program called Hottest Haunts that provides extra marketing for a select few each year, and it'll be different haunt attractions each year. And there will be a process of choosing them and everything like that. But like I said, that'll be rolling out in 2024, and it'll provide haunted attractions with an extra layer of marketing and advertising to help them in that season. So we're really excited to have that and roll that out along with all these other things. The other thing we're going to do, it's not an initiative so much as it is just a fun time, but we're planning our chamber cruise in 2025. We announced that, so I'm excited about that. I can't really wait to do that.
I am
wish it was
terrified
2024.
I am terrified of the idea of just cramming a whole bunch, like thousands of haunters onto a cruise ship together. Like the chaos that will
I
ensue
know, right?
is wonderful.
Considering the other groups that get crammed together on cruise lines, I think we're going to be one of the preferred options.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might like us a little bit better.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I mean, we're mostly harmless.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say we're fun. They'll love us. It's like,
can you imagine
not?
the costume balls? Like, oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
know. Wouldn't it be? I mean, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. They won't forget us. I guarantee it. They'll never forget.
Yes,
We'll be the
definitely.
best people they've ever had. So I'm just totally excited about this. We decided to do this, and we scheduled it out for 2025 to give us time to set it up, because once again, things like of that nature and on that scale, it takes time. It's not something you just say, oh, let's just do it and go. So we're really looking forward to having chamber members come with us, and like I said, get to know each other and get to know the board. I mean, I think that's very important that we can all get to know each other, because I think too many times, especially, once again, doesn't matter what organization you're part of, local, state, national. I think when you hear board, like a chamber board or an organization board, people think that
I can't go up and talk to them.
I can't talk to them. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like
I'm just
intimidating.
a
It's like,
peon. I'm a peon. They don't want to
them.
talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've spent a
And
good bit of time disabusing people of that notion. They're like, I have to
yes.
meet with this like high and mighty big thing. I'm like, well, they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you do. They're just
That's right.
people. I've
That's
had
right.
so many meetings with, highfalutin titles and things like that. And you know what?
Yeah.
Especially the good ones, they're just people. They're not interested
Yeah.
in here's my title, treat me as such. They just want to sit and talk with you and get,
Yeah.
your thoughts and opinions, especially in boards like this, because they do want to hear from their team
Right.
and everybody who's involved because it's so important.
Well, and that it makes a difference for us anyway.
Hmm.
I know even from the start of this organization almost 4 years ago to even now. I mean, I had people even this season reaching out to me, calling my number and saying, "Hey, at the last minute, some people needed insurance. They got dropped from their carrier because they were doing something, and honestly, it wasn't anything they should have got dropped for. I mean, it wasn't. They've been doing it for years. All of a sudden, the carrier
Yeah.
just goes, "Oh, well, we don't want to cover it anymore." It's like
Hmm.
it's a haunted attraction. Like we do this. Like it was something we do. It wasn't anything new or weird. It was things we already do. He wasn't even pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
Yeah.
just something they already did, but yet they got dropped. And so I got a phone call the one day, and the one owner's like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but like I need insurance like now." And I'm like, I know who to call. I'm like, we have Levitt Insurance. They'll get you taken care of. And sure enough, within I think an hour, they had them insured and ready to go, and they were like 2 or 3 days away from opening, and they were ready to go.
Oh
So,
man.
I mean, that's the difference. At least, like I said, when people always ask us what's the difference, like I'm not trying to compare ourselves to other state, local organizations or national organizations, but the difference is we want you to feel like you can call us, and I'm sure other organizations are like that too. But I'm just saying that's what we try to set ourselves apart with is
Hmm.
when you call us, we're going to be on that other line, and we're going to help you. It doesn't matter if they're the executive vice president to the senior vice president to the president. Doesn't matter what title you hold. We, like you said, we're just like you. We just want to be here to help. That's
Hmm.
it. We don't get anything for what we do. Like I said, we don't get any money. We actually put more of our own efforts and money into this to do this. So if anything, if we're being technical, we're putting in more than we get back. As far as anything goes, because like I said, we don't get paid. So it's not. I mean, other than the joy of helping people, we're not getting anything in return. That's
Yeah.
literally all
Yeah.
we get is the knowledge that hey, we are helping people, and there are people that do appreciate what we're able to offer. So, like I said, that's why we do it, and we make sure that they know that they can get us at any time. And like I said, I give out my personal number all the time. I have people that call me, and they'll even comment. They're like, "I can't. Are you sure you want to give me your number?" I'm like, "Yeah. Like, why not?" Like, how else are you gonna get a hold of me? I'm like, I mean, to me, I'm just like, it's common sense. Like, well, how are you gonna call me if I don't give you my number? It's like I don't. It's like, well, if you don't want to call me, you don't have to. But it's like, if you want to call me, here's my number.
Yeah.
But I do find people do get shell shocked, when I do hand out my number because they're like, oh, I didn't know we were allowed to talk to you. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you? It's like you should talk to me or to somebody on our board, if you have questions. I mean, that's out of everybody, that's should be who is asked or answering questions because they're the ones that know the organization the best. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
we are the ones
Seriously.
that should be answering those questions. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean anyway, that's we're just really excited about these initiatives that we're starting here in 2024 into 2025. I just really think they'll be really big. They'll make a huge difference in many people's lives. And like I said, it's not just for our members. Like I said, non-members can pay, like I said, a piecemeal rate. Where if you want to do this program but not this program, you can pay for this. If you're like, hey, I don't want to join, but I do want to partake of this. Like, well, you're more than welcome. You don't have to be a member. I mean, we'd love you to be because then you can get all the benefits. And you can, you pay that one-time annual fee, and everything else, is actually, if I'm being honest, if they partook in all the programs, it costs them more. So it's
Yeah.
like save the money and
Save
join
the
the
money and just
chamber.
join.
Yeah.
Yeah, save the money and join. You get everything because at that point, no matter what we create, it's already paid for.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
We're not coming and saying, well, now we need another $100. Now we need another 200 or 300. It's no, whatever we create, even in 2 or 3 years from now, whatever we create then is still gonna. If you pay 150 a year, then that in 2 or 3 years, you're still paying that and you're getting more programs. So
Hmm.
we're trying to build this so that way they're getting, 10 times the value.
Yeah.
than what
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
actually are putting into this. We want them to get more than they're paying for. So that's, yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, I know I talked a lot about that, but those initiatives are so crucial to, like I said, not only the success of the chamber, but to helping people in the industry, like I said, to learn, to grow, and to thrive in this industry. So that way we can create that positive environment for people to continue to start new haunted attractions or get bigger if that's what they so choose to do.
Yeah, I want to dig more into that, but before we do, we need to take a quick break,
Mm.
hear from some of our other sponsors, and then we'll be right back to it with the president of the Chamber of Haunters, Robert Nulton.
And thank you for those words from our sponsor. Always important to have them. And so, with everything that's been going on, with all of the opportunities and supports and everything else that the Chamber of Haunters is doing, how does one get to be a member to take advantage of all of these offerings and this huge support network that you're building?
That's a wonderful question. So pretty much what it comes down to is you can go to our website, which is www.chamberofhaunters.com. When you go there, you'll look for the chamber membership area. There'll be a little area at the top, or there's a button that says join today at the right, I think it's the right hand top corner. But you can click either one and it'll take you to our membership page. Now, our membership page, we are getting ready to redo that area just to sort of refreshen it a little bit. But it does have all the memberships there, and you can go right in through there. But you pick your membership. Once again, there's an individual membership, which is like if you're not really a part of the industry so much, like maybe you're a fan, you just like going to haunted attractions, and you really don't fall into a category. That would be the best thing for you, just as an individual. And once again, you still get all the same benefits. It's just you're not paying as much because once again, you're just you. You're not you plus so many people in your haunted attraction or you and your organization. It's just you as a fan.
This is
We
your
have
actors. This is your makeup artists. This is
yes,
your fans
yes,
of the industry who want
right,
to participate.
right.
Those types of
All your
people.
right, your single member kind of people. Yeah, where it's you. So that's a great place for them to once again to at least get in the door. Now, so, like I said, depending on the haunted attraction, if it's home, yard, or charity haunt, that's one set of membership. They're small, medium, and large. And once again, each membership comes with a number of members. So if you're in some kind of management position, sometimes the haunted attractions will tell us like, hey, these are the people that I want to have the paid memberships. And some haunted attractions will even buy an extra membership because you do have that option. You can purchase your membership and then have the members that come within that. But if you have more people in your attraction that are maybe full time or part time that you want to benefit from it, you can pay. There's an extra fee to add them, but it's not much. But you pay a little bit extra fee, and you can add them then to your membership on top of that. So there's different ways, but each membership has a different price depending on your size or what kind of an organization you are. Like if you're a vendor or even haunt reviewers, stuff like that. So each one comes with its own number of members and its price. And so when you go to the website, you just click the join today button, you go through the prompts, and then like I said, you will go through and fill out information, and then you can put in your credit card or debit card information, so that way we can process your membership, and it starts from the day that you join. So, for example, if people join today, then their membership will be good for a year from today. So
So it
that's the
will not
nice thing is
reset on
that when
January 1st.
no, yeah, January 1st is not that's not the reset. Yeah. Yeah. People will ask that because they'll join like March, April, May, and they think, well, I'm paying for a year, but I'm only getting 8 months. Like, no, you're paying for a year, you're getting a year. Like it's a year from when you pay, not a year from when the year
Not a
starts.
calendar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And like I said, because there are people that do ask that, and I want to make sure it's like, no, you're not getting shortchanged. You're paying for the year from when you start. So your renewal won't happen until a year from today. That's when it'll come up. And we always send out an email prior. So there's an email that comes out usually, I think, about 30 days prior, that lets you know, hey, your membership is going to renew. That way you're aware, because people, because like I said, it does automatically renew unless you cancel it.
Mhm.
But we do that because that way it's just you do
One
it
less
once a
thing to
year and
think
you're good
about.
to go. Yeah, I mean, you're already going to renew, you're good to go. But it does send out an email just to remind people. That way, if someone forgets about it, they can be like, "Oh, that's right. My membership's coming up. I got to account for the fact that that's going to come out."
Yeah.
So we do make sure that they are aware when their membership is about to expire, because, like I said, it will automatically renew. But yeah, I mean, that's how they join. Our heavier times usually are, we found, are usually at the beginning of each year and in the summer, because that's leading up to our July
Convention
annual
season.
convention. And at the
Yeah.
and the convention, we have tons of people that sign up at the convention, just because, like I
Always.
said,
Of course.
it's yeah, they just love they love to come talk to us, and they'll just sign up right there. So but yeah, that's usually, like I said, the first half of the year is when the majority of people do sign up, just because they're less busier at that point. Once you hit about June, July, it's, I mean, it's crazy all the time for us, but it really gets crazy when you're hitting summertime, because now it's like, okay, we got to get this ball going. We got to get this done before October or September, whenever they're opening. So, yeah. So as far as memberships go, it just depends on what you classify yourself. And I will say this: a lot of people will ask, like, how do I know what to classify myself as? Because once again, we don't really tell people on the website, like, if you have this many uh patrons that come through, or if you have make this much money. We don't do that, only because this industry is so vastly different. You have sort of like two parts, and I know this is going to sound really weird, so I apologize, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So there's people who, they have 10,000 people come through, and they feel they're a large haunted attraction. I mean, 10,000 people is a lot of people. You have some where they have 100,000 come through in a season, and that is large.
that is
you
that is
know,
that is definitely large. Yeah.
that's definitely large. So it really is perspective, because once again, we consider ourselves more of a grassroots kind of organization, sort of like boots to the ground kind of thing. And so, I mean, obviously, we have attractions that are huge, and we have attractions that are large. We have attractions that are small. So, I mean, we have a wide variety and array of members, which is awesome. I mean, just, as diverse as they can get it, it is. But I don't feel right trying to tell somebody, well, you're not large. You only
Yeah.
bring in
Yeah.
12,000 people. You're not large enough. It's like, I mean, granted, they probably save maybe $50 a year, but it's like, at that point, it's like, I wouldn't want someone, if I feel like I'm large for what I do, I wouldn't want someone else telling me, "Oh no, we don't consider you large." I would
Sure.
probably like just be taken back by that. I mean, I don't think anybody would say that to me, but if we did something like that, I would just feel guilty saying, "No, you're not large. You need to be bringing in 100,000 people." Um, so I don't look at them. We don't look at the money. We don't look at the patrons. We don't look at size. It's just, look, it's the honor system pretty much. We say, you classify yourself, and you choose the what you want. Because once again, if you choose medium, you'll get 3 members. If that's how many people you have on staff that you want to benefit from the chamber, then you're going to want the medium. If you feel you're a large attraction and you want the extra membership, then you can get 4 members under large. So once again, I just tell people, it's on their terms. We're not here to
Mhm.
dictate and start telling them what they are in the industry. We just let them on the honor system just choose. If they feel like they're large, then great. I really don't care if they feel they're large to me. If they feel they're small to me. So whatever they are is what they are. But I just would like to clarify that, because, like I said, people will ask us all the time, how do I choose my membership? And I just sort of tell them, even especially at Texas when we do it in person, I just tell them, look, here's our general guidelines, but you decide if you feel you're a large haunt attraction, or you just want the extra memberships because you have maybe 3 or 4 people on staff that you want to be a part of this, then get that one. If you only
Benefits.
have you and one other person, then just get the small.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Exactly.
whatever benefits you is pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah.
There's no
And
size
So
that
sorry,
fits
that's a
all.
long answer, Leslie. I apologize.
No, no, it is. There's no one size fits all, and the fact that you
Right.
have it set up that everybody can create the membership that they need and that they want
Yeah.
based on how they identify themselves, what they're looking for, what their goals are.
Right.
Again, it just highlights what the chamber stands for, which is everybody's welcome, and we're not gatekeeping, who gets
Mhm.
to qualify.
Exactly. And I want to point I'm on the website right now and just want to kind of list off the different ways people can categorize
Mhm.
themselves. There's the individual membership, there's the home yard haunt, charity haunt membership, small, medium, and large haunted attractions. Then there's also vendors. You're not a haunted attraction,
Mhm.
but you make things for the industry. You're vendors. Escape rooms, not a haunted attraction, but you do an escape room. Escape
Mhm.
room artist. There's a place for you here as well. Review
Yeah.
crews. Johnny Bronto. Why are you Hanstein? Why are you not in here?
That's
And
right.
and then paranormal societies as well. One of our
Yeah.
partners, Paranormal Society, fits perfectly. If you fit into any one of those categories,
Yeah.
there's a place for you here at the Chamber of Haunters. And if you have
Yep.
a hard time remembering where to look for all of that, chamberofhaunters.com. You're looking
Mhm.
for the Chamber of Hunters, chamberhunters.com. But if you have a hard time remembering that, go to huntingyou.com and you can find a link to them off of our homepage. So just scroll down to the bottom where we talk about our premium sponsors, and you will find the link to the Chamber of Hunters right there as well. You mentioned that you like talking to people at conventions. What conventions this year are
Yes.
you going to be at? Because we are just about to kick off convention season here in just a few short weeks.
Yeah, and there is a slew of them this year. A
Yeah.
slew. So it'll be a crazy year, I think, for everybody. We plan on it, but a lot of us plan on attending Trans World. We won't then we're not vending there, but we will be in attendance there. We love Trans World. Jen and Rich doing a fantastic job with that show, and everybody who's involved with it. I mean, they just all the people that are involved to make that thing go off pretty much without a hitch do a fantastic job. So we are looking forward to being there. Like I said, just at least at least in person, we'll be there this year. We will be holding a one of the nights. Like I said, I can't remember if it's Wednesday or Thursday evening, but we'll have a chamber sort of get to know you. And once again, it's for members and non-members alike. So we hope people will come out and get to know us better. But it's just after everything is closed down for the day. We plan on going out, and it's like I believe it's probably I think it's Wednesday night before everything opens. So we plan on doing that once again with chamber members as well as people who want to get to know about the chamber. We'll be taking everybody out to eat somewhere down there, and just once again, just trying to get to know everybody and seeing how we can best help people. So we'll be there in person, just not vending, but we'll actually be vending at the East Coast Hunters Convention, the first ever East Coast
Brand new.
convention. Brand
Ooh.
new, brand spanking new in Philadelphia. So it's just for me, I'm in Central PA. I'm about 2.5, 3 hours from Philly. So I'm excited because that's just a hop, skip, and a jump for me. So I'm looking forward to for us being there. So we will be at the East Coast Harness Convention. I think it's April, if I'm
Yeah,
not
April
mistaken.
27th and 28th. I looked it up because I knew we'd talk
Thank you.
about it.
Yep. 27th and 28th. Yep. So we'll be there. We'll have a booth there. So we're really excited about that. And then we'll be again at the Texas Hunters Convention in July. So we're really looking forward to being back there again. Last year we had a newer booth. So normally we did a 10 by 10. Last year we did a 20 by 20 and ended up actually we did a 20 by 20, but we purchased I think it was one or two more booths on the one side. And what we actually did was the one aisle was literally the one side was chamber members like vendors. We had Levitt Insurance, we had Ticket Spice, we had standout advertising. I mean, the whole one side was pretty much chamber island. I mean, that's that one thing was just all our chamber members there. And then on the other side was a couple of our attractions. Plus, we built an indoor, just a small haunted attraction on the inside.
Nice.
Just for people to walk through, and people loved it. I mean, we didn't know how well it'd be taken just because it was small, wasn't anything huge, but we had a couple people acting inside and doing stuff. We had people that, we had some, drop scares and different things. So, I mean, just a little bit of fun, but people loved it so much. And the convention loved it so much. They asked us to be their VIP booth next year. So we'll be the
Nice.
VIP booth at the Stars Convention next year. So we're
Awesome.
excited about that.
What a great way to get traffic to your booth as well. I love that.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's going to be even bigger next year. I mean, that convention is definitely growing, and they're doing phenomenal work, and I'm just so excited. I mean, this past year we had a blast, with them and with all our members that came out. to see us and support us. I mean, just we had a blast, and we're looking forward to be there this year. And we're gonna do it once again, another big booth. We're gonna be the VIP booth, but we're also gonna have the walk through haunted attraction in there too. Just to once again, they loved it so much they asked us to do it again. So our executive vice president, Sue Jones Gray, she's actually working on building our walls because the walls we used last year. A friend of ours, Roland Pickens, he helped us last year by letting us use some of his stuff, but it was very heavy and it was hot in Texas. It was like 110 degrees.
Oh
And we're
yeah.
grabbing this stuff from a storage unit, and hauling it to the place and then setting it up and then going back. And we were drenched by the end of the day. Just, I mean, it was like there was not a dry spot on our
Yeah.
bodies. It
Yeah.
was just
I know the
miserable.
feeling.
And these panels were heavy. They're like 100 some pounds. And we're just like, okay, we're not doing this again next year. So we're like, we have to build panels that are very light and easily to transport, so we're not killing ourselves. I mean, we were very grateful, and it was. I'm glad he had it because we didn't have time to build it last year. We
Sure.
needed to have
Sure.
something that was already ready to go. So he had it all. I mean, the columns, everything. I mean, it looked. I'll have to send you some pictures of what it looked like. It looked fantastic. So I'm very grateful that he was willing to share and let us use his stuff. But man, like I said, in that 110-degree heat,
Now,
it
now
was
that you have
a
time to plan for it.
killer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now we're planning for it. We've learned our lesson. So now we'll be thoroughly ready in 2024. So
Exactly.
yeah, we'll be
Exactly.
at those two places this year where we're and there's other conventions going on, and we'll have members that'll be attending, different ones throughout. So I mean, we'll be, at almost all of them in some form, just not vending at all of them, but many of our members or our board members will be attending, because once again, we like to see what's going on at the other ones too, even if we're not vending. So like I said, many of our members will be at places. So I would just remind people, if you go on our website, we are updating our website for the board member area to try to, update that area. So if they look online and start seeing people and they see them at a convention, even if we're not vending, like I said, please feel free to, reach out while we're there, and just say, hey, can we talk about the chamber sometime? Can we meet up for lunch or dinner some night? It's like, we'd love to do that. So if you see us, please, talk to us and come over and say hi.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. And if you're looking for a convention near you, definitely go check out our website at huntingyou.com. We have a full listing of every convention that we are aware of with links that will take you right to it. So you can glance through that list at a very quickly to find one near you. But to sum up, go ahead.
If you are putting on a convention and you see that it is not on there, please let us know so that way we can make sure that it gets added and get the word out for everybody to listen and to be able to try and attend.
That as well. But to sum up, you'll be doing a dinner at Transworld March 7th to 10th in St. Louis, Missouri, then vending at East Coast Hunters Convention April 27th and 28th near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And of course, the official convention of the Chamber of Hunters, Texas Hunters Convention, July 13th and 14th in Mesquite, Texas. Go find a convention near you and check out and keep your eyes peeled for a member of the Chamber. Okay, we covered a lot and we're getting close to that hour mark. What have we missed, Rob?
I think that's I can't think of too much more. Like I said, we are just really excited for like I said, all the initiatives we're working on. Like I said, we're really trying to build value in with our members, so that way they know that one, we do care about them, and we're not here to try to waste their money. We really want to help give them value for what they're paying for. Like I said, their money is going back into the programs. So it goes back either they pay for the memberships, but that money goes right back into them. That's what we're trying to do is just recycle it back to them. So I mean, we're trying to really do all we can to help. The one thing I will mention really quick is we did send out back in I want to say November, I believe it was. We had a questionnaire that we sent out to our membership and it was more so the haunted attraction owners to try to get a feel of how 2023 went. We just wanted to know, like, hey, what kind of things did you face? What kind of issues did you have? And so it was, like I said, it was neat because we were able to really see how people were trying to navigate. I mean, now that we're sort of finally past, I mean, I know the COVID's still out there, but the pandemic itself is gone. We're outside of that range now, and we're operating normal now. And so we're trying to get a gauge of now being 3 years out. Hopefully, like I said, our feeling is everybody should be back to normal now. How is things going for them? And the biggest thing we saw this year was people really this was a hard year for a lot of our members. I think just a lot of people in general, because of the weather. We when we did our findings and we got the results back, the majority of people said they really struggled with weather. And that was and once again, I have a haunted attraction too, and it was indoor and outdoor both suffered. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously indoor can still operate, but
So
to
people
think
aren't going to
that
want to come
indoor
out to you.
attractions go unscathed, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the weather's snotty, no one's going to go driving through it to go to an attraction.
And that's the thing I even saw at mine. I mean, we still got people, but many wouldn't come those nights, and they would tell me after, or I'd get people that would email or call because they're like, we don't want to wait in the rain because half of our line is outside.
Yeah.
Half it's inside, but their half's outside. And it's like I didn't have any kind of queue system in place where they could sit in their car and then come in. Now we're looking into that, this season coming up, just because like I said, when you go through stuff, you learn, and you're like, okay, well, we got to figure out how to get past that for the future. So we're learning, and a lot of our members sort of had shared similar things where they're like, okay, we had to, because of this, we had to think, okay, well, what can we do in the future, now to facilitate this. And so, like I said, this year, well, we have 3 or 4 ticketing members in that are part of the chamber. And like I said, we refer all of them out. We tell everybody whenever people come to us asking for, especially when it comes to vendors, we make sure that we are not partial to anyone. We tell everybody like, look, we have Haunt Pay, there's Ticket Spice, but there's 2 more. I think it's Ticket Picks, I think is the one. And I can't remember the other one. They just joined not too long ago. And like I said, I just pulled up my list. I'm like, well, here's the people we have that offer ticketing in the chamber. I tell them the same thing. I'm like, here's the contacts. Get a hold of them. See who can offer you the best deal. Yeah, that's how we do it. We're just like, hey, here's who we have. When it comes to insurance, we only have one insurance carrier that helps us out, and so that makes that part easier. I'll just say, hey, it's love insurance. Take it and run. And they've been awesome to work with. They really have. Like I said, this year I had people that was the other thing between the weather and insurance. Those were the 2 issues that we got calls about more than anything else. When people were trying to figure things out and say, well, I've lost half my days because of rain, or they would call and say my insurance dropped me mid-season. And it's like, oh my gosh, so we definitely, this year was pretty heavy with, I don't want to say with issues, because I want to make it sound like there was a lot of issues, but it just seemed like a lot more people, especially members anyway, needed our help, which was awesome. I mean, I was reassuring that they felt comfortable enough to call and say, hey, I need help. That made me feel good. It's like, okay, I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to just come to us because they know we have the resources now. It's like they're there. All they got to do is ask.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was huge for us this year. But we did notice that between weather and insurance, those are some of the big things that our members were struggling with. So, like I said, we just make sure that when our members come to us with something, whether it's costumes, props, whatever, we have different members out there. We have kooky spooky costumes that are out there. They're awesome. There's Zagoni Studios. We love them. They are just awesome. They have some great costumes and masks. Like I said, all our vendors, we just do our best to make sure that people know who they can reach out to for whatever their needs are. So that's the thing is, just like you said earlier, no matter where you fall in this industry, we want to make it clear that there's a home here and we're going to help you to get out into the industry and market and network and get to know people and push you out, whether you're an attraction or a vendor or whatever you are. We're here to help. So that's probably the last thing I would just share is, like I said, we want to hear from people. If people have ways that we can help them, once again, I mean, I want people to understand that when we create these programs, like I said, every year we're trying to create more programs. We only know so much. Other people are going through different things depending on where you live or the kind of attraction you have. We're all going to go through different things, and so we want our members to feel like they can get a hold of us at any time and say, "Hey, I need this benefit. Can you create it?" Well, of course we can. I mean, that's not even a question. If you need it, we'll create it. It may take a month or 2 or something like that, if it's depending on how, depending on how big of a benefit or a year, depending on the benefit size, it might take a year. but we're going to do it. We're not going to say, well, now we're not doing that. It's like, yeah, we're up for it. We're up for the challenge, but we need to hear from you. So that's probably the last thing I would just share is, if you have something you need help with or a benefit that we don't have yet, all you have to do is ask. If you're not getting that benefit, all you got to do is come to us. And I tell people, don't get mad that we don't have it. Just come to us and say, hey, I need
This
this
would be
benefit,
really
and we
helpful.
will be there in a heartbeat. Yeah, right. Yes. It's like,
Yeah.
just say, hey, we need it. It's like, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
And that's what I would leave with, is just letting them know that.
I think you summed it up beautifully. I have nothing more to add to that.
That's awesome. All right.
Well, Robert, thank you so much for taking the time out to come on and kind of give us an update on everything that the Chamber has going on for 2024. We are super excited about where we're headed and all of these initiatives that you've talked about tonight. I am super excited to take advantage of them. So we'll definitely be looking forward to working with you more through 2024. Les, any last words before we let Robert loose?
Ask and you shall receive. That's what the chamber is here for.
That is what they are here
And
for.
if you think you're the only one who needs something, you're probably not. So be the one that asks for
that's
it.
true.
That way we can help
Yep.
everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you guys again. It was awesome seeing you all again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we look forward to talking with you again.
Yes, I look forward to
maybe
it.
even see you at Texas. Fingers are crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. You'll have a blast, I promise.
Oh, I know it. I'm moving this summer, and if the timeline all works out, we're just going to swing through Texas on the way. Like, fingers are crossed.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Like I said, you would all have a blast. You'd love it. Yeah, it's a great
Awesome.
time.
Well, thanks again, Robert. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. You have a good
All
night.
right. Thank you.
I always have so much fun when he comes on and joins us.
Right? He's
And
just such a delight. And
he-
everything that the chamber is doing is just so lovely to see them building, literally a chamber of commerce for the haunt industry, and that is available to all level of haunters.
Seriously, I'm super excited about the grant program. I'm excited that the ghost program is moving online. So that means I can now take advantage of it in a way that I couldn't before. I know, right?
Shocking.
I know what I'm going to be doing next time I'm out on patrol. I'm going to be taking ghost classes. But
so many jokes, a little time.
Fair enough. But yes, so definitely go check out the Chamber of Haunters at chamberofhaunters.com and see what they can do for you to help you take your haunt to the next level. Well, normally we would be wrapping up with a Chamber's Corner, but this entire
you just had a
episode,
Chamber's room.
Yeah, we just had a Chamber's room. The Chamber took over the room instead of staying in the corner today.
For the benefit of all.
Absolutely. But this entire episode has been brought to you by Spectral Illusions. Bring more life to your haunt with Spectral Illusions. And of course, you can get 15% off of your digital decoration order using the code HauntingYou15 when you check out. See them at spectralillusions.com. Anything else, Les, before we sign off today?
I don't think so. From all of us here at Haunting You, thank you for listening and happy haunting.
Bye, everybody. We are incredibly thankful to all the sponsors who make this show possible, particularly our premium sponsors, the Chamber of Haunters and Fear Expo. You can learn more at chamberofhaunters.com and fearexpolive.com. Check out the Haunting You podcast at hauntingyou.com for more information on everything that we do. Haunting You is a production of the Rocky Mountain Home Haunters, LLC. All audio clips and sound effects are used under a Creative Commons Attribution or Public Domain license from Purple Planet Music at purple-planet.com or the Sound Bible at soundbible.com. Please see the show notes for more information on all the clips used in this episode.